Hey guys, welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas. Today I have a new collection to show you from Painted Phalange. This collection is called the Traditions Collection, which means that each of the polishes, all six, are named after different holiday traditions, which I will actually go into more depth on the blog about, but here we're going to see the swatches, look at the beautiful colors, and just have some fun with it. So let's go.
So first up we have this light icy blue shade that is a curly-like formula, so it kind of feels creamy, but it's sheer like a jelly, which therefore makes it curly. And this one is really pretty. As you can see, it's really sheer on the first coat, but this is going to build up with no issue pretty quickly as well. And it has some scattered holographic micro glitters in there. You've got some chunkier holographic micro glitters, and then of course you have cobalt blue, and then I believe there are also some blue flakies in there that almost have a coppery tone to them as well. And it sits really well and looks very wintry and like winter wonderland like. So here is our second coat. This builds it up pretty nicely, but it is still sheer. But honestly, I don't mind because I feel like the more coats that you put on, the neater the layers you are gonna get. Plus, with this bigger brush, it's like super easy and it's quick. And it dries pretty fast as well, so you don't have to worry about like 3 coats being troublesome or anything. They're just nice, smooth, easygoing coats. Now it is time for that third and final coat. I feel like this is just such a fun winter wonderland festive-y polish that is really going to take you out all of the wintry months, which I think is nice because you could definitely do this in January. I feel like this is actually perfect for January. But there is 3 full coats, and on the side here you can see a picture of how it varies on each nail, and it's just kind of fun. And I love the hint of cobalt blue micro glitters in there because cobalt blue in any sort of polish, apparently I just really like. I'm not sure why, but I always gravitate towards it. So there is 3 coats of Let's Go Caroling. Now we have a polish called The Little Lights Are Not Twinkling, and this is a holographic polish, I would definitely say. It is kind of composed of a very scattered holographic, and then also we've got some bigger, chunkier ones in there, and it's kind of got a tarnished silver shimmer in there, which is kind of like your base color, but then the holographic shimmer and micro glitters kind of just overtake the polish and turn it into a gorgeous little rainbow. So there is 1 coat. As you can see, I mean, you might actually be able to use 1 coat like this on top of maybe a gray polish or even a silver polish. If you only wanted to do 1 coat, you kind of use it as a topper. But I'm going to build it up because that is actually the real intention here. And it looks gorgeous built up. I was actually wearing it all day yesterday, and it was very distracting in the best sort of way. Now it's time for our second coat, which will actually bring us really close to full coverage, but I went ahead and did 3 when I was going to wear it. So this is about a 2 to 3 coater depending on how thick or thin, or just, how bold or not bold your nail line is. But there is 2 coats, and you can only faintly see my nail line, but we will go ahead and do the third just so you guys can see. Now it's time for the third and final coat of the little lights are not twinkling. And that definitely feels like full coverage to me, so I'm going to end it there. Of course, like I mentioned earlier, though, this is about a 2 to 3 coater, just depending on your personal preference and your nail line and all that. Now I have a really fun, kind of like a magenta-y pink called Grandma's Recipes, and this is just really pretty. It does have like a squishy jelly feel to it, even though, I mean, I'm not 100% sure I would call it a jelly-like polish, but it kind of gives me that feeling. This one, it does have a scattered linear graphic shimmer going on, and then we've also got some holographic micro glitters as well, and I feel like there's also a goldeny shimmer in there, and there's just a lot going on, and when the sunlight hits it, it really picks up on that. Now it is time for the second coat, which actually brings us to full coverage. I mean, if you did a super thin coat, you might want a third one, but I feel like I just did normal thickness of like what comes out on the brush, of course wiping off one side, but I feel like I'm happy with 2 coats, so we're gonna leave it there, and you guys can check out the picture on the side because I feel like it shows some of the elements in the polish a little bit better. Now we have a really fun blue. This one is called a PJ Party, which I love because this whole collection was like named after different traditions. And this one aligns with one of our family traditions, which is getting like festive Christmas PJs on Christmas Eve. So then we wake up and we're all in new PJs and it's just fun. But this is kind of like an indigo blue with a really lovely gold to green to teal shimmer in there. And this is just really pretty. So there's one coat. It is a bit sheer, but we're going to build this up in no time. Now it is time for the second and final coat. Now if you did a super thin coat the first go around, you might want a third, but I did not. I just did it normal like I did on the last polish that we looked at. So this one covers completely in 2 coats, and the shimmer in here is just so pretty, and it's way more noticeable in person. Plus it kind of also gives you like a night sky with the stars up in the sky feel, and it's just super fun. And again, this one is called PJ Party. Now we have a polish called The Countdown, and this is a gorgeous jelly red. And this one has a lot going on in it as well. I think you guys are picking up on that. And it definitely has a holographic shimmer in there. I want to say there are some flakies in there, but I'm not 100% sure. Yes, actually, as I'm shifting the bottle around, I can see some flakies. And they kind of have like an iridescent gold tone to them. So as we layer the polish and get closer to full coverage, it just creates a really neat deep look, and you get the cool layers and the colors changing because of those layers and the jelly polish going on top of the flakies and all that and them sitting in it. It's just really cool. And being called The Countdown is just like perfect because, you know, December 1st starts that 25-day countdown that everybody is, you know, keeping an eye on, even if they may not be saying it. You know they are. Now it is time for the second coat, which gets you a little bit closer to full coverage. I can still see through to my line right up there, so I do want to go ahead and do a third coat just so you guys can see what I see. And look, okay, I think you guys can actually see kind of those flaky shifting as I move my nail, where they have like this really nice warm golden shift, kind of iridescent, and they're just really pretty. Now we're going to do our third and final coat of this beautiful red. And there we have 3 coats and full coverage. Because of flakiness in this is one you might want to just go ahead and tap the end of your nail so nothing hangs off and snags. But this one just has a really nice kind of a squishy feel to it, and it is really pretty. Next up and lastly, we have the perfect Christmas tree green called the Baubles, and this literally makes you think of a Christmas tree that's decorated. It's got, you know, lights on it. It's got some ornaments, because this one has a really nice kind of a golden shimmer as well as a holographic shimmer. And then of course you've got some variously sized red micro glitters. You've got green chunkier micro glitters, some red medium-sized ones in there as well, and then you get some silver. It's just got a little bit of everything, and it just makes it feel super festive. And you may or may not be seeing a tutorial coming up this upcoming week with, you know, this polish and some full-out Christmas tree decorations, because why not? Now it is time for our second coat, which doesn't really get us all the way there, but I'm okay with that because I feel like the more you build it up, the more like metaphorical ornaments you're getting on your tree here, and you're just creating layers, and it's just super fun. So there's 2 coats, really close to full coverage, but we're gonna go ahead and do that third one because, like I said, it just helps build the layers, and it looks cool when you get the different glitters and different layers. And yeah, I'm just gonna stop now. Now we are going to go ahead and do that third and final coat, which just seals the deal in my opinion. And we have full coverage. It's super fun. And now you guys can see the swatch picture on the side as well, because there's really just a lot going on in this polish, and I feel like you see it better whenever you have it on all of your nails at once, and that is what you're seeing on the side.
And here's your final look at all of the polishes that we just swatched. I think they're super fun. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be using one of them in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. These are releasing December 1st, and they will be 11 individually or 60 for the full set. And as always, I will have all the links that you may need in the description box below. And there are more pictures on the blog. And as I also said earlier, that we're going to be talking about the different traditions behind each polish in the blog post, the exact information that Angie sent over so you guys can get what she was thinking, and then you can kind of put your own story to it, as well as I mentioned, like for the PJ party, I mentioned like what we do for PJs, around Christmas. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I think this collection is super fun. I love the different take on it, and the names are always fun because it's Christmas and festive. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you back here tomorrow for the beginning of Nailmas.